Hey everyone, I'm Lauren. I'm here at BYU in the library, and we're on the first floor in Special Collections, and today we're going to be talking with Greg about the Posada collection. Come on in.
Hello, my name is Greg Seppi. I'm a curator of 19th and 20th century Americana collection here in L. Tom Perry Special Collections at the Harold B. Lee Library. And I am here today to talk a little bit about a phenomenal illustrator and artist, José Guadalupe Posada. Here in Special Collections, we are delighted to have a large collection of material from José Guadalupe Posada. And Posada is a fascinating figure who was born in Aguascalientes, Mexico in 1852. The city at that time was a fairly lively place, a lot of printers. He's educated in an art academy. Understanding Posada is difficult without understanding the complex political and technological society that he grew up in. It's a really dynamic period in Mexican history. Following a tragic flood in 1888 in León, Posada moved to Mexico City, where he produced the bulk of his surviving art. He worked with two major printers, Renio Paz and Antonio Venegas Arroyo. The 1890s and early 1900s were difficult years for Posada. His wife and son died, and he was never respected to the extent that he probably deserved during his life, and essentially dies impoverished in 1913. Posada is a fascinating figure because he works in a variety of mediums, and he produces a ton of content. We are very fortunate at BYU to have acquired a collection of 140 of images related that Posada produced during his life. Many art historians love Posada's work. They've described him as having very clean lines, having a great sense of proportions and sort of comic effect as well as dramatic effect. His brilliance really comes through in the number of techniques that he mastered during his life. So at various points he's producing watercolors and doing things on oil paint. He's working in lithography, using stones essentially. He does woodcuts. He begins working in type metal, which enables him to produce prints that he can sort of mass produce and give to advertisers and newspapers quickly. And he late in his life, he's using a technique called zincography, where he's literally engraving with a very specialized tool these images onto zinc plates. Again, the scale of his work is just astonishing. So you've got everything from sort of news of the day type pieces, so a flood, to a remembrance of a political holiday, printed on the 89th anniversary of the Revolution of 1810. You've got sort of poetry, very, very common street broadsides and street poetry that you would see. His calaveras, and these are astonishingly complicated, beautiful, theoretically fascinating pieces. He captures a sort of ephemerality of life, and they're beautiful, but they're also caustic. They're mocking the upper class while they're sort of almost accepting of fate to an extent. They're interesting because they're a blend of this sort of pre-Columbian imagery that he sort of inherited, of skulls and skeletons on buildings all around him, as well as the element of sort of imported from the European medieval tradition of skeletons in the posture of life. This reminder that life is sort of ephemeral and temporal. To gain access to these materials in the library, just come down to the first floor, down to Special Collections. We literally bought these so that students could use them. Yeah, the opportunity to work with an original Posada item, to see these in the flesh, so to speak, it's not to be missed. So we're delighted to have them, and excited to see them used more.